Hi guys, welcome to a new video. In this video, we'll be making a simple pencil skirt with bum allowance. If this is something you like to learn, keep watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you'll be notified whenever I make a new post. Thank you, and let's get into it. For this style, you use 1.5 to 2 yards of fabric, and I've gone ahead to cut out what I'll be needing for the front piece. And to do this, I just divided my hip measurement by 4 and I added 2 to 3 inches allowance. I also cut both the lining piece and the fabric together, as I'll be cutting lining and fabric together. For the length of skirt, you do the exact same thing, the length you want the skirt to be, and then you add your allowance, maybe 1 or 2 inches, depending on how much fabric you have. So you can see my lining underneath the fabric. I just use the pin to hold them down. To start, I'll be drawing a line across, which is going to serve as my waistline and starting point for this skirt. The next step is to mark my waist to hip, which is 10 inches, but I'll be taking away 1.5 inches for my band allowance. As you can see, I'm placing my tape from 1.5 inches. I'll repeat the exact same thing to take my waist to knee. Start from 1.5 and then you mark your knee. Mine is 19.5 inches. You repeat the exact same thing. You mark to the full length of your skirt, but I already cut out the full length of this skirt. So you go ahead and extend your lines like so. On the waistline, I'll be taking my waist circumference divided by 4, which is 7 inches. I'll be adding my sewing allowance of 1.5 inches. I'm not putting a dart for this, so I'm just labeling my hip line and my knee line. On my hip line, I'll be taking my hip circumference divided by 4 and adding 1.5 inches as my allowance. Now, whatever I have on my hip line, I'm going to be taking away 1.5 inches and marking whatever is left on my knee line, because I want this skirt to be a pencil skirt. And whatever you have on your knee line is the exact same thing you mark on the full length of this skirt. I hope that's understandable. The next thing to do is to go ahead and connect all the points together. As you can see, from the waist to the hip, it has a curve. So I'm using the curved part of my master pattern. So just connect your lines as you see me doing. After doing that, go ahead and smoothen your lines. You don't want any sharp lines on your skirt. Now from my center front, I'm going to go down by 1 inch, and then I'm just going to slant it to my waistline. Just watch what I'm doing. It helps with bulge around the area, since I will not be adding any darts to this skirt. After that, you go ahead and cut out, and you have your front piece, both the lining and the fabric. Now for the back piece, cut your back piece 2 to 3 inches wider than the front. You're going to be placing the front on the back piece to cut out the back part of this skirt. The difference between the front and the back is the zipper allowance, and I'm just going ahead to mark the zipper allowance, which is 1.5 inches down until I get to the end of this skirt. After doing that, I'll use a ruler to connect in a straight line, and then I'll be placing the front exactly on this line. So this is my zipper allowance. That part that I marked out is the zipper allowance. I'll go ahead to extend on the lines. That's my waistline. This is my knee line. So just extend on both sides of the fabric like so. And guys, I placed the front with the lining part so that it will be more visible since the lining is black. Now remember, I went down with 1 inch for the front part, so I'll be going up by 0.75 for the back, and I'm going to be extending it to the waistline. After that, I'm going to extend the lines, and that is going to be my waistline. Now from my waistline, I'm going to go in by 1/2 inch towards the center front. Please just see what I'm marking, and then I'll take away that 1/2 inch, and then I'll add it to the other side. So it is almost like you're taking away 1/2 inch inside here and you're adding the 1/2 inch outside. From that 1/2 inch I marked, I'll measure 1.5 inches, which is also my zipper allowance. Remember, my zipper allowance is 1.5 inches. So I'm marking 1.5 inches. On the zip line, that's on the hip line, sorry, I'll go ahead and mark my 1.5 inches. Now, this is where it gets different. On the knee line, I'm going to be dividing this 1.5 inches into 2. And I'll be marking one on this slit area, that's on this zipper area, and I'll be marking the other one on the side. So if you divide 1.5 into 2, you'll be getting 0.75. So I'm marking 0.75 on this area. Now you go ahead to connect all the points. So you connect this area in a straight line and then just follow all the points that you have made. You see that this is going to have a bit of a curve, and that will be your bum allowance for this skirt. Now remember, we shared the 1.5 into 2 and we marked one on this zipper area. So I'll be marking the other 0.75 on the side of this skirt. So you take it away from the center part and you're going to be marking it on the side. So I'm just going ahead to mark the 0.75 on the side of the skirt. After that, I'm going to get my ruler and I'm going to connect it like this and connect what is left into the hip line. I'll repeat the exact same thing for that ½ inch that I extended on the waistline. So connect to the waist and then connect right back. So this is a really simple method of getting your bum allowance. That's all. After that, you're going to go ahead and cut out following the lines that you have made. Please note, for the back, I'm also cutting the fabric and the lining together. After that, I'll take away the front and I'm going ahead to notch where my zipper allowance starts from. The next thing to do is to go ahead and join my lining and my fabric. So I'm just going to open this up and then I'm going to be placing the fabric. I'm marking the wrong side and then I'm going to be placing right side of fabric to lining, right side of fabric to lining. The lining doesn't have the right side or the wrong side, so you're just going to place it however you like. I realized that my lining has to be shorter than my fabric, so I'm going ahead to cut out 1 inch from my lining. So just go ahead and take out 1 inch from your lining, depending on the allowance I actually added to your skirt. But for mine is 1 inch, so I'm taking away 1 inch from my lining. After that, I'm going to go ahead. This is what it's going to look like. As you can see, the fabric is longer than the lining, but you're going to drag it down and then you're going to go ahead and stitch it. You're also going to stitch on this side. Just follow the direction of my hands. After doing that, you turn this over to the right side. You're going to repeat the same thing for the other side of the skirt. So this is how it is going to look like. Then you're going to drag the lining down and then you're going to go ahead and stitch. After stitching, you're going to drag it upward, because this is what it will look like. You're going to drag it upward so that the ankara will be what is showing at the down. I'll repeat the exact same thing for the lining of the front part of this skirt. So take away 1 inch, go ahead and cut it out. After which, you're going to place the right side of the fabric to your lining, because the lining doesn't have a right side. Then you're going to take the lining down and then you're going to go ahead and stitch. After stitching the bottom part, you're going to drag the lining upwards like this, and then you're going to stitch the sides and turn it over to the right side. After I was done stitching for the back piece, this is what it looks like. I gave it a good press and this is what it looks like. So this is 2 sides of the back piece. Now I'm going to join them together, right side facing each other. I'm going to make sure that they are properly aligned. And then I'm going to go ahead and mark out my zipper allowance. And then remember, there's a notch there. So I'm just following the direction of the notch and I'm marking the exact same thing down until I get to the end. You can see this is not straight. It has a curve, and that is what your bum allowance is. For this, I'm just marking where I want to be open, where I'm going to be attaching my zipper. And then I'm marking where my slit is going to start from. So I'll stitch from the down to that area using loose stitch, and then basically just use a loose stitch for the areas you know you're going to lose later, which is your slit and zipper area. Now this is what the front looks like after I've turned it and I've given it a very good press. So I'm just going to set this aside. Now I've gone ahead to stitch on my zipper allowance. I use loose stitch for the slit and the zipper area because I'm going to lose it. As you can see, the bum allowance is already coming out at this bum area. The next thing to do is to place this fabric right side facing each other. So I'm just placing the right side of the front, the right side of the back. Then make sure you properly align them. You can go ahead to pin it down and then mark all of your measurements. Make sure that your waist is accurate, your hip is accurate, and then just connect all the points and go to your sewing machine and stitch following the lines. After I was done, I gave it a very good press, and this is the result. This is what it's looking like. Now I'm going to go ahead and just open up the slit area. So you just go ahead and loosen it. I turned it over to the wrong side, so you can see how I'm losing this. After I was done, this is what the skirt looks like. The slit area is open, the zipper area is open. The next thing to do is to attach my band, and my band is 1.5 inches. And then just make sure the band is longer than the waist. You can go ahead to trim out the excesses later. So what I'm going to do, I like to sew my band from the wrong side first. So I'm placing the right side of the band to the wrong side of the fabric, after which I'm going to fold like this and stitch on the right side, because I like it to look neat on the right side. That's all for this skirt, and this is exactly what it looks like. If this is something you like, please give this video a thumbs up, share, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you in my next video. Bye, and thank you for watching.